So once again, life and death Qigong, as you breathe in, Buddhist breathing, this expands along with the lungs, and it contracts along with the lungs. But now the breath control. So what you want to do is you want to start to slow the breathing down. An average human being respirates 12 to 20 times a minute at rest. Okay? Anything above that at rest, more than 20, is considered abnormal, and anything less than that is considered abnormal. Well, we're going to do our very best to not be normal. So we're actually going to slow our respiration down. So a lot of people, when they're trying to do this, they use different kind of breath control techniques. So I'm going to teach the same type of breath control I have earlier in these videos, but I'm going to actually do the counting the way that I do it for you, and tell you how to kind of expand it. When I was training with my teacher, his words were that you wanted to try to get down to 4 to 6 breaths a minute. So now, even if you're in kind of the average range of 12 to 20, say you're like 18, 4 to 6 is a big jump. It really is. So you just want to slowly, slowly, slowly work on this. I've done this for years, and that's why over time, I remember, trying to get to 6 breaths a minute was like a really big deal, because 6 breaths in a minute is 1 every 10 seconds, right? Which seems really slow if you breathe faster than that normally. But being able to get into that range, you'll start to notice a lot of different things. One of those things being that your body tends to become more, I guess you could call it efficient at removing oxygen from the air. People who, you can also look at heartbeats, right? Really exceptional athletes have slow resting heartbeats. It's the same sort of idea. So another part of this is the breath control, which I've talked about in another video. And we were using a count of 7 on the breath in, pausing, not holding the breath, just pausing and stopping the breath at the top for a count of 8, and then letting go of the air for a count of 4. Okay? And what I've found in my practice is that by doing that, my mind calms down and integrates really well with my body, and I actually find it easier, especially in Buddhist meditations, to go into trance states with it. But as far as just breath control for the life and death Qigong, you can use this, and if you have a timer, you can set a timer in front of you and start to just watch your natural breathing. But the big trick here is to not try too hard. This is kind of the big trick in everything, right? You want to be as natural as you can while making an effort to be slower. But you're not going to be like, yeah, I'm going to do 6 breaths a minute, that's 10 seconds, no matter what, and then the next thing you know, you're hyperventilating, right? You're under-oxygenated, you're getting lightheaded, bad things start to happen. So the big issue here starts to be the cadence at which you count in your head. So when I say count in for 4, or count in for 7, hold for 8, I never said how long that really is. It's not seconds. I didn't say 7 seconds. I didn't say anything. I just said it's 7, then 8, then 4. So what's going to happen naturally in your head is where you should start. So if your count, breathing in for 7 is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's fine. That's where you're starting. All you have to do in order to start to slow the breath down is start to elongate that counting. Okay? So if your count for 7, so I've got my timer in front of me, and if I'm just doing my normal count and I notice on my timer that an entire breath takes me, let's say 15 seconds, all I've got to do is slow my count down very little, because over the entire cycle of the breath, suddenly that 15-second breath takes 12 seconds, right? And I'm starting to slow down. And you just consistently work at it. Dublin likes to bite. Yeah. You just consistently work at it and slow things down.